Guys, Schuster 5000. Here's the cadet 149. Looks pretty good. Tires make it look really nice. Was happy about that. Got all the lights working. Had to steal some parts off the 128. The headlights came off of that. And yeah, took the PTO engager rod off, and I think that was really about it. Oh, I stole the deck off of it just because I already did it up. And it mows pretty good. I got to do the blades up. I got to sharpen them. I actually had to take the anti-scalp wheel on in the middle there, and I had to turn it on the wood lathe because somebody had made one, but it was all crooked. But yeah, it's got a noise in the engine. Now look back at the videos I did everything right, but I forgot to mic up the new connecting rod, and I don't know if that's my problem or the crank pin on the crankshaft where the connecting rod goes. I don't know if that's messed up. Because somebody did put the connecting rod in backwards on this engine and scored it decent, but I polished it down and it looked pretty nice, and I measured it, and it was only it was undersized by I think 1/1000 from standard. So that's leading me to believing that the new rod I got wasn't right, even though I bolted it on the crank and it was fine. So I didn't have any play that I noticed, up and down play or side to side. But oh well. I'll be pulling this engine out, and gonna probably put the one from the 128 in. It's a 12 horse, but you're really not gonna notice the difference. And that one runs good, and I don't mind having that tractor sit because I got a couple other engines over here. Just got these yesterday, actually. I got an 8. I got a that one's a 12. This is a 10. That 10's actually out of a 100, as well as that grill. This is a KT. I ain't really looking at that one though, but I got this 12 horse here. It doesn't have a rod or a piston, so I'll probably end up doing it up, and probably go from there. I'm gonna need some tin work. It doesn't have the blower housing. Doesn't really have very much to it other than the block and the crank and the valves and whatnot. But the oil pan's in here. I got the head right there. And there's a few other things in the bucket. So I can do that one up. And I'll probably stick that one in the 128. The only reason why I'm going to swap engines is because that one's ready to mow. And it's actually pretty nice to mow with the hydro. It all works pretty nice. Only other thing I'm going to have to do is swap the PTO clutch from this 14 horse engine to the 12 horse because they got the two different brake styles. This one's got the button. It's a bronze button, and then the 128's got the brake style PTO engagement. So I'm going to swap that style one on to the 12 horse engine and throw it in this tractor, and just swap over a couple things. I can't even use this carburetor because it is a little bit bigger, being as this is a 14 and the 12 is, I think it's a number 26 and this is a number 28, so this actually would be too much carburetor for the 12 horse. But this carb's good for the 14 and the 16, I believe. But anyway, let me start it for you guys so you guys know what rod knock sounds like. That way, if you're buying a tractor, you can tell basically what it is. something screwed up. So I don't know. Yeah, when you shut it down, or shut it off, and it idles or speeds down, it doesn't make noise, so it's weird. You see, when it's only turning a couple hundred RPM or less, it goes right away and you don't even hear it. So, I don't really know. I mean, I assume it's the rod making a noise. And I used the thing and I mowed the lawn. I ran it for about an hour today, and it didn't really change much. It does seem like it got a little bit louder. Like right now, that's about average, the noise. But if it was a cold start, you know, everything's shrunk, and I don't know, not really sure what's going on. So I'll be pulling this back apart, and just to show you guys what either I screwed up or someone screwed up, and go from there. I was thinking maybe if the balance gears, grenade gears were, I don't know, maybe something screwed up with those, or I don't know, something's messed up. I'll be doing another video for you guys and letting you know what I find. Maybe the cap bolts came loose, I don't know. Could have, but they don't really make that noise right off the start when you start your tractor. So that leads me to something else is wrong. Maybe the wrist pin. People said the wrist pin could be making a knocking noise. Maybe the dipper is hitting the pan, but usually it doesn't sound like that. And it's got a different noise to it. But it was the same length rod and everything. I mean, I checked everything. Somebody did say that a spark knock could do it, but that's low end that you're hearing. So I know I put the rod in the right way. I know that. It's in the video. So I'll be doing a video on yanking this stupid engine out, and most likely it's probably the crank pin on the crankshaft. It's probably oblong and the rod is round, and it's probably got some play on one spot, so it's shucking up, and then when it's coming back the other way, it's shucking the opposite way, and that's probably why you're getting this rod knock. And it's actually a real common thing for these engines, and people say you can run it like this for years and you'll never have an issue, but to me that sounds pretty bad. So we're gonna tear this thing apart, and I don't know, we're gonna look at it again and do it over. But the thing runs. It actually starts pretty good, so I know I got the cam, I got all the timing right, I got the compression release set good, and I know I got my valve lash good. So it's just something with the rod, I'm thinking, or the crank. So I'll be, like I said, I'll be taking the thing apart. I'll yank the oil pan. There's plenty of, not metal shavings, but the oil's gray from, you know, when the new piston is going to wear into the cylinder, and so on here. But I'll do a video. I'll when I get the thing up on the bench, and I won't even pull the oil pan. I'll pull the pan on video just like it did before, and we're gonna see if we notice anything weird going on in there. And I will see you guys soon, so stay tuned.